Hey guys, it's Sarah and I'm about to get started on my next Disney album page, which is going to be a Star Wars theme page again. So I am going to do a little technique here on these wood veneers, and I wanted to show you what I'm doing before I get started so that you can actually see me do it. So what I've done is I have these wood veneer alphabet stickers. They're not stickers, they're wood veneers. You know what I mean. And so I spelled out Star Wars, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the lower half of these wood veneer pieces. So what I have done is I stuck it on just like a plate, and I took some washi tape and I kind of used the washi tape as a mask, not only to hold it in place, but also to use where the paint is going to cut off. And this is a technique that I have seen Victoria Marie do a few times, and I just saw her do it in her latest class, which is Layering Like a Boss 2, and it's fantastic. If you haven't signed up for it, I would highly recommend that. I'll leave a link in the description. But I saw her do it yesterday and I went, you know, that's a really cool technique. I have paint, I have wood veneer, let me do something like that. So I decided to do it on this layout. I already had this layout planned anyway. And so what I've done is I went ahead and masked off, and I'm only going to be painting the bottom half, which I will show you in just a second. But I'm going to go ahead and mask off this S here real quick. So I just lay it down. And I have this washi tape. This is a very thin washi tape, but you could use any kind you want because it's really just going to be a mask for your paint. So it doesn't really matter how thick or thin it is. I'm just going to tear off a piece, and I'm just going to mask it off right where I want the paint to stop. And I'm not being really precise with this, so they're not all going to stop in the same place on the wood veneers, so I'm just not too worried about that. But I'm going to press down really hard right where the washi tape is on the wood veneer, just to make sure it's not going to bleed. And then I'm going to take my paint here. This is a Cermacoat black paint. It's acrylic paint. And I'm just going to squirt a little bit of paint in the middle right here. I don't need a ton because I don't have a ton here to do. It's a very small space, but I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm just going to dip it in here, and I'm going to paint the bottom half. I'm using a dry brush, and that is definitely recommended for acrylic paint because the color does not get diluted by any water or any wetness, and it just comes out a lot darker and vibrant. You don't have to do quite as many coats. So I'm just going to take my brush, and I'll start with this S here, and I'm just going to paint the bottom half. That's all I really need to do. I don't even need to do a second coat. So I'm going to do that for all of these letters, and then I will take off the washi tape when it is dry. And it doesn't take very long for these to dry because the acrylic paint is a pretty thin coat, and it dries within a matter of like 10 minutes or so, so it's nice. I also have seen thickers, or not thickers, but like large wooden alphabets that have this technique already on them from Felicity Jane, and I absolutely love those. I wish if I had realized that they were in one of the kits, I probably would have even bought that entire kit just to get those alphabets because they're gorgeous. They were like, you know, wood on top and then a cream on the bottom, a cream color, and they were, you know, manufactured that way, and they are just beautiful. I love them so much. I've tried to get my hands on them, but of course they were only in the kit and they're all sold out. So, but I can at least do this on my own wood veneers that I already have, so that's pretty cool. This A is moving a little bit, so I'm just going to hold it still with my finger. Okay, let me do the W. The W is moving a little bit too. All right. So let me go ahead and show you what this S looks like, because this is the first one I did, so it probably should be okay for me to pick up and show you. So all you have to do is pull off the washi tape, and look at that. It is wood on top and black on the bottom. Isn't that a cool technique? This is something I definitely want to play around with a little bit more because I have acrylic paints in my stash. I don't reach for them very often at all. So that's something that I definitely want to start doing, but this was fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my layout, and then when I am ready for these, they should be good and dry, and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and start working on the base of my layout while my paint dries. And I have these two pictures here of a random Star Wars show that we ended up catching kind of just at the right time. We were walking through the park, we were walking through Hollywood Studios, and we didn't quite know where we were going. We're just kind of wandering around. And then we noticed a lot of people started gathering towards an outdoor stage. And it was just kind of like walk up type thing. So we were like, well, they look excited. Let's go see what's going on. So we followed the herd and it ended up being a fun, just like 5-minute little Star Wars stage where a bunch of the characters came out and you heard all their voices and all that stuff. So it was really cute. So I took a few pictures of those, and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting down my papers. I have that background paper there, and that is from Creative Imaginations. It's very old, and I'm going to use some black cardstock to back it. Before I do that though, I am going to go ahead and mount my pictures on that black cardstock first. So I'm going to get my cutting mat, and I'm going to put these pictures down in the very center of it. And then I will use my craft knife to cut around it and then clean up the edges and make them straight with my trimmer. And that is kind of something that I do a majority of the time. It just helps save on, cardstock. I don't have to pull out another piece, and you don't see the middle part anyway because I'm about to put this piece of paper right down on it. And I did cut this background paper down by about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. And then I'm going to clean up the edges on my photo mat here and make them straight since I cannot cut a straight line with my craft knife to save my life. Okay, so I have these other two little scrap pieces of paper. Those are both from Paper Pizzazz, from a very, very old Disney little kind of pack that has pattern paper and embellishments and all that. And then I have this fun little saying that says the characters on it, and that's from the same paper pad. So I'm going to cut this out. And it's very old and it's very thin, so the quality is not fantastic on those, but I'm going to use up what I can here. I also have a little scrap piece of vellum, and I'm going to use these here just to add one little extra layer without covering up anything else. And then I'm going to pull out this again here where I cut my paper from, and just looking to see if there's another word I could put on here, and I found one that says friends, and it's blue and yellow, which are colors that are both in here, so it was perfect. So I'm going to use that as well here, and that's again from that Paper Pizzazz. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on my title. I'm going to get my letters here from this stickers pack called Print Shop, and they're in a gray. So my title is going to be Random Star Wars Show. And so I'm going to use those obviously for the random and show, and then the wood veneer for Star Wars. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and start getting all this layered up. And I'm putting adhesive on this vellum only where it's going to be behind the picture so you can't see it. And then I'll put my pictures down right on top there. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on thinking about my embellishments here. So I have some sticker sheets and some epoxy brads that I'm going to be incorporating. I also have a stamp set I think I'm going to use. So my paint is dry now, so I'm going to go ahead and get my title down. I'm just using my quick dry adhesive for everything. And then that ends up kind of puckering my paper up a little bit right in that section because of the wet glue, and that paper is very, very thin. It doesn't hold very well. So I'm just going to grab a small piece of cardstock here that is just going to fit right there, just to kind of help give it some more weight, I guess you could say. And I'm just going to use some washi tape and stick that down. I could have used my ATG. I don't know why I didn't think to do that, to be honest with you. I just grabbed my washi tape and did it, so I could have just used my ATG for that, but oh well. So that just kind of helped add a little bit more support on the back there where it was kind of puckering out from the glue. Okay, and so now I'm going to do a stamp, and I have this stamp set from Ali Edwards from her monthly story stamp subscription that I used to get, and it is a magic themed. So I'm going to layer up these two stamps. It says "So Totally Magical," and just put that right in that corner there. I'm using a baby wipe to get off the extra ink on that stamp. I've been really trying to make a habit of doing that every time I stamp, just clean them automatically so that the ink doesn't collect and get old and mess up my stamps. All right, so now I am going to cut off a little piece of this park map that I had taken. Every park we went to, I took like 4 or 5 maps that you can get at the front. Number one, so that we could have one. And number two, so that I could do things like this. I can cut out little embellishments to use on my scrapbook pages. And that one says Star Wars Awakens, and it says Disney's Hollywood Studios. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this on some black cardstock because I want to pop it up on Pop Dots, but I need to make sure it has a little bit more weight behind it. A little bit more sturdy there. So I'm going to add some foam squares to that. And then stick it right above my pictures. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these down here. Go ahead and stick them down. So that one says the characters, and then this one says friends. Then I'm going to use a couple of these little epoxy brads. These are from Simple Stories. And I'm going to use one that says magic, and then one that's like a gray and yellow star. Then I will use some of these stars here from Twine and Ink, some of these yellow stars. And I'm just going to kind of scatter a few around. I was going to try to use all of them, but I think it would have been a little overkill, so I don't use all of them. I think I might have 3 left, so I'll have to use those up soon. But I got those down, and then I think all I'm going to do is add my journaling, and then that is going to complete my album. So, or my layout, not my album. Not yet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling here. I'm going to write it out and then underline it, and then that is going to be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.